time. I will now hand over the presentation to Mr. DeJarvis Leonard. Mr. Leonard.
Good morning, and again, thank you for joining us for the May monthly media briefing. We will go through the same scenario that we have in the past. If anyone's new on here, we'll go through the layout of the project, and then we'll talk about some updates and show you some aerial photography of where we are today. As you know, the project is broken up into 4 phases, and we've finished most of those phases. Phases A, 1, and 2 are complete, and we're still working on phase 3. This shows some of the work on phase A, which was the lengthening of the bridges at 31st Street and 12th Avenue. This is part of phase 1, where we widen I-65 around 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Avenue North in both directions. And this is a rendering showing what the interchange at 5920 and I-65 should look like, and this is what it actually looks like after we had completed the work, and we're showing that all ramps are functioning in their full capacity. This is a rendering of phase 3. We're looking at Red Mountain Expressway, looking south on Red Mountain Expressway, and it shows all the new ramps that will be in place once we finish. These are the new 25th Street ramps that are functioning currently. This is the ramp that goes from 59 northbound to Red Mountain Expressway and 6th Avenue. Also, these ramps is the new flyover ramp that's being constructed, and the new ramp from 31st Street that will tie to the main line also. This is the ramp that goes to 59 northbound, and this will be the ramp that if you're on the main line going northbound on 59, you'll exit to 31st Street. This is a view looking east toward the airport, and you can see those same ramps. The ramp coming from 31st Street to the main line, the new ramp from Red Mountain Expressway north to 59 south, the ramp from 59 northbound to 31st Street, and as I showed earlier, these ramps at 25th Street are functioning and in its full capacity now. This is a time-lapse video that shows that work as it took place on Red Mountain Expressway. It's accelerated, but you see how the work progressed, and we have the new ramps open on 25th Street and functioning, and you can see the new ramps that are taking place that are being constructed from 31st Street, the new ramp from Red Mountain Expressway that will tie to the main line, 59 southbound. This is the ramp that goes from the main line to 31st Street. This is actually the main line bridge. Some of the segments have been placed over Caraway Boulevard. And all these ramps will be totally functioning once we get it complete, but this is the update on where we are today. This is a rendering if you are looking westbound. And you can see some of the ramps that was in some of the construction that took place over the last month. We have most of all the columns are installed all the way up to 19th Street. This is the mainline bridges for the eastbound roadway that's in place in these spans. And you can see some of the mainline bridges that are going in place also just west of 17th Street, I think that is. This is a time lapse looking east. You can see that same work that's taking place along the ramps, but you also see the mainline work that's being installed as the ramps, as the columns are going in place. You can also see the mainline bridge is being put in place here for the eastbound roadway. And you look very closely, you can see that caraway construction also that took place for the main line. So we will update these and keep you posted of our progress, so you can post those on your media stories. Once we finish with the bridge, we want to, and we're working very hard with the City of Birmingham and other stakeholders to determine what we will actually have underneath the bridge. This is a view showing some of the aesthetic lighting package that we have in place. This is just a rendering. This is not what will actually take place. This is some ideas that was developed early on as a part of the concept. We will have cross street lighting at every block along the segment from 15th to 23rd. This is a view of that down lighting, that surface lighting on the bridges that will be shining down in this area. And this is sort of shows you what the cross-section view of the bridge will look like, looking east and westbound. We had a mock-up of the lighting about a month ago, and this is showing some of that lighting of the surface-mounted lighting, and we were able to see how well it would be lit underneath the bridge during the mock-up that we had. This is showing some more view of the cross street lighting that we'll have at every street. Not only we have the surface lighting shining down, but we'll also have surface street lighting at each cross street. You can see this in this corner, that what the lighting will look like at the cross streets. Some of those lightings will be of this nature, with the stick lighting with two down lights that will be shining down. Then you have some will have three, and then you also will have some of the teardrop pole lights in some areas. Very inviting and very aesthetic pleasing. Close-up view of those the lighting for the teardrop and some of the candlestick lighting. The bridge will have ribbon lighting on both sides, and that ribbon lighting can be changed, and it can be white, it can be red, white, and blue for Independence Day. It can be red for Valentine's Day. It could be maybe even green when we have a UAB game, or St. Patrick's Day. So those are some of the options that we will have as we move forward with this underneath the bridge concept. Close-up view of the mock-up that we had a few weeks ago, which shows how that lighting will look with the ribbon lighting. You can see the green and the red, and a combination of several on this location. We're still on countdown. The contractor has 10 months to today to be finished with the bridges and have traffic back functioning in its full capacity on the bridges and the ramps. The contractor would love to finish early, but he has that 14-month window, which will end in about 10 months, which will be in the March timeframe. Keep in mind that this is Memorial Day weekend, and there'll be a lot of travelers on the road. So we encourage you to drive safely. We encourage you to obey all the traffic signs. Be mindful of people who are driving, and please don't drive while you are distracted. Don't be distracted in your driving. Avoid utilizing items in your hands while you're driving. Please don't be distracted while you're driving. And with that, that ends our presentation.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Linder. And as a reminder, we want to encourage everyone to stay up to date on the project by following us on the website at 5920bridge.com and on social through our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram pages. At this time, we are going to begin taking questions. If you have a question, please type it in the questions box on the lower right-hand side of the screen, and we will call on you in the order we see them come in. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions. Okay, well, here's the question. When will the lighting be installed?
The lighting package is a part of the Phase 3 project, so it is being installed as the bridge is being installed. Once the bridge is finally in place, they will finalize and put the fixtures in place. The wiring and things of that nature for the lighting is already being installed as a part of the bridge.
Okay. That answered the second question, which was, will it be as it goes along or when all the segments are up? But you just answered that. Okay, so it looks like that's all of our questions. Mr. Leonard, is there anything else you want to add before we conclude today's call?
I just want to thank the motorists for being patient with us, and we encourage motorists to continue to allow plenty of time to maneuver through the detours that we have in place, because the detours are in place. Memorial Day traffic, we will not have any closures between noon tomorrow and midnight on Monday. But all the detours will be functioning in their capacity, and we encourage you to obey those signs and be safe while driving.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Leonard. As a reminder, we will post a recording of this presentation on the 5920 website at 5920bridge.com. The website contains all the most current information on the project, and we encourage you to utilize the website as a resource for closure announcements, the media gallery for updated photos, and current content. If you have any questions following today's media briefing, please contact Linda Crockett. If there's nothing else at this time, this will conclude today's meeting. Thank you again to everyone for joining us.